So covering the sail from Grenada up to St Martin, island hopping with the help of Austin Hardin from Texas. But first to say goodbye to Grenada. I was shot back to South Africa for 3 weeks for a few things to catch up on and do. Said goodbye to some of the guys in Prickly Bay. So Grenada, Trinidad, Amsterdam, Johannesburg, Durban it was. This is my first long sleeve top on in about 6 months. It's chilly here in the airport. I haven't worn a long sleeve top, as I say, in 6 months, believe it or not. Quick stop over in Johannesburg, visited my brother at the company, and yeah, all looking good, looking very, very busy. This is where it all happens. And then from Johannesburg down to Durban. Didn't miss this at all. In the traffic, take note, robots out of action, load shedding. I'll come back. Definitely easier sailing. Found a rather unique spot to have a dock and watch Springboks play Italy. Got my trusty crew, cheers, Irish, and the other trusty crew. Sorry, I had to throw that in, I was about to get into trouble. And we are at Zinkwazi on the Natal North Coast. Absolutely stunning, look at that. It's a lagoon over there with some shabby houses there, and the mighty Indian Ocean over there. Absolutely stunning. At the Zinkwazi Ski Boat Club. Man alive, beautiful. And the main reason for being back in South Africa, to pack up my house, put stuff into storage, say goodbye to Ryan and Gertrude who helped me with a lot of stuff, and then it was back to Grenada. And touchdown Maurice Bishop Airport in Grenada. So the dinghy's a bit flat, got to pump it, and otherwise the boat looks alright, not too bad. It stood its ground for 3.5 weeks. Bottom needs a little bit of a brush, but otherwise all good. Now to shore now, try and get some Wi-Fi and get my SIM card going, but otherwise Prickly Bay looks much the same. Nothing must change, same sort of boats, and but time to get moving. That stands for 3 weeks. There was a bit of mold on the ceilings and on the walls, so the vinegar wash to clean off all the mold. Last little get together on Joran and Simone's boat in Prickly Bay, Christmas send-off with the Prickly mates.
People always want to go.
So my dad grew up and he was in a boarding school.
Driveway parked full as usual. Getting ready, starting to load up with water. Got the good news that I found my luggage. It's in Trinidad on its way here, so I'm very chuffed. And here we go, start loading up with water. We've got Austin helping us out. Little pre-shopping drink at Umbrellas on Grand Anse Beach in St George's, Grenada. And there it is, the famous bag. Timmy's taxi came to fetch the bag with me, and very, very happy to see that baby over there. And last time at the sandbar sunset, and also last time for the pool tournament at Clark's Court. Here we are at the fuel dock, topping up order. We've done diesel. Austin got us all tied up and getting ready to go, head north. Shaylin also been helping us a few months here. And leaving Prickly Bay, which is probably for the last time. And now sunrise. And on the other side, so sunrise is in the east. And we've got a moon setting in the west. Look at that. Awesome. Sunrise and moonset. Let's do a safe trip. Off to Carriacou we go. Austin and I. Just going past St George's, the main harbour, and we're leaving. And there's a big cruise ship, a very big one, just pulling in and about to dump off about 3,000 people into the Grenada economy. So the locals are there with their hands, rubbing their hands together, waiting for that monster to arrive. Beautiful tall ship also coming into Grenada. We'll try steer clear of him, but wow, magnificent. It's usually a naval training ship. Coming up to Rond Island. I'll say it again, the most expensive piece of private island for sale, listed for sale in the world. And we are ably skippered by Austin. And the fishing lines are out. Yeah, going well. Passing Rond Island and being treated to some classic jazz from Austin. You can hear it. Not many 18-year-olds who enjoy some good jazz between the islands there. And coming into Turtle Bay, Carriacou Island. Super calm day. No wind. The little wind that there is was unfortunately against us, so we motored for 7 hours to get here. Bloody hell, burnt a lot of diesel. Well, we use about 3 litres of diesel an hour, so it wasn't too bad. 20 litres of diesel, ably skippered by Austin. And we're about to go anchor between that lot over there. Wish us luck. So anchored here in Turtle Bay, Carriacou. Can't get away from South Africans, eh? That boat in front there, owned by Kevin from Cape Town. Bumped into him the other day. That boat there, Vincent from Cape Town, owned by Greg. And I was anchored next to him in Knysna almost exactly a year ago. And here it is again in Bequia on the other side of the world. And this is Turtle Bay anchorage. Pretty busy here, but lovely little town, Turtle Bay. We've all checked out. We've checked out, so we're ready to move on to Bequia tomorrow, hopefully. Austin bringing down the Grenada flag. It's been up there a few months now, and it's finally coming down. We've left Grenada a day ago. There it is. Thanks, Austin. Flat, windless day, so taking some boring video clips. There's one. That there is the what we call the brine coming out the water maker. It's the salt part of the water, and the fresh water is sent to the tanks. More boredom videos. Flat ocean, amazing colour of the water. It's like a, yeah, I don't know, indigo blue. And cutting through it comfortably, not troubling the boat at all. Flat water. And some islands over there. proper rocky outcrops everywhere. And it's a glassy day at sea. Not often you see that calm, flat, and you can hear the motors going in the background. There's no wind. Bugger all wind. Another boredom video. Motoring across the flat sea, and in the distance there is our destination, which is Bequia. Right around that corner down there. Coming round the point into Bequia, I think it's called Princess Margaret Bay. There's the point right here, and down there is Princess Margaret Bay. Little super yacht in it somewhere. There we go. So coming into Bequia. Great big bloody ship, super yacht, spoiling everyone's sundowner view. Anyway, we'll be anchoring over there somewhere, and you might remember from previous videos, Bequia, that is the town of Port Elizabeth, and on the left there it has a suburb called Pretoria. Yeah, Bequia. Sounds very South African. Cheers! Cheers! Not too shabby. Passage beer at Jack's Beach Bar in Bequia. Leaving Bequia, short and sweet. It is Sunday the 11th of December, and yeah, Bequia just overnight, and then heading up to St Vincent now. We will anchor at hopefully Chateau Ballet Bay. Austin at the helm. Story of our lives the past 3 days, sailing almost straight into wind. You can see here almost straight into wind on there, and been helped by the engine, so the wind's not helping us too much. The engines are doing most of the work. We're running at 2,000 revs, and we are way off course, just trying to catch some wind. You can see the pink line is our desired course, and the red line is where we're heading, so we have to get away from land. Yeah, it's a constant fight. We've just got the jib out at the moment to feel it out, but the jib is pulled as tight as it can, and giving us a little bit of help. Coming up to St Vincent. Pretty impressive. It's a volcanic island. The volcano erupted last year, I think, and I think the bay where we're going, or we'll see some lava flow coming up, but yeah, what an impressive little island. Okay, anchored down right here below the volcano. Wish us luck. And that's the town of Chateau Ballet. Very French sounding, but I don't see much French there. And it's just us and another boat here in the anchorage. Diving down to check the anchor as I normally do, and this time found the anchor not really well dug in. The Bruce anchor, which is it's called, is hit and miss. Sometimes it digs in, sometimes it doesn't. Sunset over Chateau Ballet Bay. There it comes, it's on its way down. Pretty pleasant. early morning departure from Chateau Bay on St Vincent on our way to St Lucia, and it's a beautiful morning. But as you can hear, no wind, and so we're motoring. And there is the volcano over there. The cloud on the top, probably due to the condensation from the heat mixing with the cold air. So just leaving St Vincent, heading to St Lucia, and in the distance you can see the famous pitons of St Lucia. There they are, those two peaks. That's where we're headed. It's about 35 nautical miles from here. It's about 60 kilometers from here. Yeah, so we can see where we're going. Well marked. It's the hazards of fishing in the Caribbean. You can see the lure has hooked up some sargassum weed, and it's just dragging on the surface of the water. It's perfectly flat today, so at least you can see the lure dragging. You need to clean the sargassum weed off it. No fish going to take that. Okay, we got some sail out. Got us up to 6 knots with a little bit of help from the port side motor. And there's St Lucia and the pitons getting closer. Those two peaks over there. And that's St Lucia. Pigeon Island in the distance. Little tip out there, that's the top of the island, Pigeon Island. This is the whole of St Lucia. That's the pitons at the bottom of the island. Coming into Rodney Bay, Pigeon Island over there, anchorage over there. We're going to try and anchor somewhere over there. Yeah, that's Rodney Bay. And anchor down in Rodney Bay. And a spiffy sunset. Look at that. Red sky at night, sailor's delight. So we're expecting some wind tomorrow to blow us to Martinique. Quite a nice little anchorage. This big bad boy anchored just behind us last night. We're on our way off to Martinique. Not sure whether it's a ship or a sailing ship or a ship with masts, not sure, but yeah, wouldn't like to handle all those sails. And cheers to St Lucia. Coming into Martinique by St Anne. Quite a picturesque looking little place, and plenty boats. Dodging them, trying to get to the front to where some other South African boats are anchored. Just arrived in Martinique, Passage Beer and Passage Daiquiri, rum and whatever you want. Cheers. Cheers. Morning paddle around La Marine in Martinique. Nice way to explore the local area by surf ski. Been really enjoying my paddles. And it's a quiet, peaceful sunset here in Martinique. That'll be it for Martinique, and next chapter is Dominica tomorrow, and then working our way up to St Martin. About 4 days to get up there of day sailing. And that's it. Put an end to a good day. Beautiful day. Sorry, last sunset video. Oh, sorry. ABF, absolutely bloody final sunset shot. These things are addictive. They're in by St Anne's, and yeah, a couple of yachts out there, the dinghy dock there. There's Uber Del Mar patiently waiting for me, and this is the town, St Anne. Area very French, and they're quite into their Christmas here, so lots of Christmas decorations hanging from the trees, such as that. Everyone's arrived for the braai. Some dinghies are anchored, and most of them just pulled straight into the driveway, parked up on the beach. Our meter's under control. Our Texan doing some braaiing.
This is our Texan friend over here.
So we're sailing dead downwind, taking the gap through Diamond Rock and Martinique, and there's a stack of boats going through this gap. One over there, and there's about another 4 behind us, following us. And it's never a race, it's always nice to win. Coming through the gap between Martinique, that's Diamant Rock. They say in French, that's Martinique. And we're going through the gap. It's a busy little gap. Lots of little boats up and down, boats coming towards us trying to tack into the wind, so they're back and forth. So got to be on the toes a bit here. But yeah, Diamant Rock, quite a famous rock. Charter boat chasing us down. A lot bigger and a lot quicker. Look at that, it's very cool. Blah, some wind. We're cruising along nicely now. Speed through the water, about 9 knots. Heavy currents against us. 7 knots there, 8.5, 9 knots. We're doing right. 1 reef in the mainsail. And of course, all anchored down off St Pierre. Pretty calm here. It was blowing a gale out at sea, but nice and protected here in the bay. Yeah, pretty little town it seems. We're going to go have a look now. Little passage there, arrival in St Pierre on Martinique. Cheers. Cheers. It's a pretty cool little setting there. Waterfront Martinique, St Pierre. Oh, fairly pleasant. And the proverbial town clock. It's a little bit out of time. It stopped probably 40 years ago. Also check the anchor bridle. So here you can see how the ropes take the load off the chain, so the chain doesn't pull on the winch that lifts the anchor up the motor. The load is taken by the bridle. And the anchor here you can also see very well set, it dug in properly. Saying that though, it did come loose later. As per normal, it came loose at 3 o'clock in the morning, and Austin and I had a torrid time trying to re-anchor the boat at night. So Eli and I from a neighbouring boat went into St Pierre to watch the Soccer World Cup final. Being a French island, we were a bit surprised, a little bit subdued. The French weren't overly excited to be in the final. Maybe that's why it didn't go so well for them. So we left the French to commiserate with themselves, and we went to visit the Volcano Museum. The 1902 eruption of the volcano that pretty much destroyed St Pierre. You can see the ruins here. And coming up, these are the videos of camera work taken by Thomas Edison. He took his camera to the island, first videos for camera work ever. And he got some of the volcanic action. That's the town directly after the volcano erupted in 1902, totally destroyed. And back to present day 2022. Early morning start out of St Pierre, 6 o'clock, and heading for St Kitts, overnight sail coming up. That's the town of St Pierre, and that there under the clouds is the volcano that erupted in 1902 and pretty much wiped out everything. And wind we wanted, so wind we got. Unfortunately, it was a little bit on the nose, straight into us, but we were happy just to be able to use the wind and not the motors. Coming to the end of day one of our 2-day sail to St Kitts, and yeah, it's gone well. We've had 15 up until about 28 knots of wind, all on our beam, in other words directly on the side, so it's been a bit bumpy. The sea has been slapping us from the side, but not too bad. And we've gone quite well. We've seen speeds of sitting between 7 and 9, sometimes 10 knots, and we're now coming up to Guadeloupe, probably just about halfway through our trip. So yeah, here's our speed and so on. It's 3:15 a.m. in the morning, and doing our overnight passage to St Kitts is Austin and I. We've been doing 3 hours on, 3 hours off. Austin's currently asleep. I'm on the 3 till 6 shift, and it's going well. We've got probably 17 to 23 knots of wind. The boat is averaging about 7 knots through the water, and that's with the 3 reefs in the sail. In other words, the mainsail is about a third of its normal size, and the jib is a half of its normal size, and we're still doing about 7-8 knots. So yeah, the boat's going well. Anyway, we'll get to St Kitts and have a break there, and onwards to St Martin tomorrow, which will be the 21st of December to arrive in St Martin. It will be our base for Christmas. So that's about all I can see. Outside is just black. So those instruments and that chart plotter tells me what's going on. Good morning, coming up to St Kitts and Nevis, and that is sunrise. Poor guy had a bad night, flying along, so he found himself on our deck. locals for a nostalgic drink at the Shipwreck Bar. Last time I was here was with the cricket team 7 years ago. Yeah, deja vu. End of the day in St Kitts, anchored here in White House Bay between all the super yachts and passenger liners. Yep, the rich and famous. Sitting here having a sunset beer. I forget it's Tuesday afternoon and I could be rushing home through traffic or stuck in traffic, getting home to some load shedding, but nah, rather sit here and watch a lovely sunset. Cheers. And goodbye St Kitts, just leaving the anchorage and yeah, heading out. That area over there is the Shipwreck Bar. So I had a drink on my paddle yesterday. So the Shipwreck Bar, maybe see it another 7 years. A bit of traffic here leaving St Kitts. Seems to be a bit of a cruise ship hub, and all the cruise ships are coming in. I'm trying to get out. So I'm going to dodge this boy. I won't argue with him. I'll go behind him. And another 2 cruise ships lining me up. One there and one over there. So best I move my horse, get out of here. That was fairly close, snuck in front of him. So that ship there is the Royal Caribbean Vision of the Seas. A few years ago I went on a very similar, the sister ship, the Splendor of the Seas in Greece. Yeah, brings back some memories. The top little round thing on top there, that's a nightclub. And yeah, good little nightclub it is. Passing St Eustatius, the little Dutch pimple in the sea. The Dutch claimed every little shred of land they could, yeah. So that's theirs. Just to give you an idea of the sea we're sailing on today, we've got great wind. We've got about 15 to 23 knots at about 100 degrees, so it's a good sailing angle. Yeah, a bit of rock and roll, seas on its head a bit, but we'll take it. We're sailing along at about between 7 and 9 knots, peaking out every now and at 10 knots as we surf down a wave. Going well. So that's the front view. The back view looks a little bit more rock and roll. Can't see it so well on a camera, but that gives you an idea. Austin keeping an eye on us. Coming up to St Martin. We're now looking at the Dutch side of St Martin. We're going around to the other side of the island, which is the French side. The island is split in two between the Dutch and the French. Interesting. Not the biggest island. And coming into Marigot Bay on St Martin, French side, and happy to see it. It's been 10 days of sailing to try and get up here. Passage beer. Welcome to St Martin. Cheers. Thanks, Austin.
No problem, man.
And that's the Carib. And a good day. Cheers, Austin. And ending this video with one of my better sunset shots.